Welcome back, welcome back. We're gonna be using a squad given to me by OTC. He said he believes his team has the capacity. It has #1 potentiality in it. So we're gonna see. But yeah guys, tomorrow is the day. I'm gonna be doing a stream tomorrow. Not sure how long, but decently long one. I haven't streamed in years. I love streaming actually. But also to commemorate the official release of the book I'm most proud of to date, because so many hands touched it. Shout out to my boy Josh, Joey, Skarzig for the covers. I mean, again, I'm just in love with the Moon cover. I got a couple of Moon cover lovers out there, and again, one of these covers will only be available. Well, won't be available after October 17th. So yeah, I wouldn't dilly-dally around. So let's get into it. For the most part, I'm interested to try out the Tycon Cuttermon for sure. I think that's just what it's gonna be called for the remainder of its existence. I'd have to really put some effort in to call it Iron Crown. Like it's looking grim. So yeah, a couple of these mons I don't use too often, so it's gonna be interesting to see how that pans out. I like on cutter thing. So see how strong it is. Combo or the well-timedness of Volt Switch plus the Tycon Cuttermon is critical. Garganical, just in case, you know. So Iron Defense Garg is on this team. I think that's why he linked this, but I meant to use this a while back. Channel mascot, as they say. So Dose's core purpose, it helps with, this isn't Moltres. Moltres better on this team. We'll see. I haven't used Zapdos quite some time. I heard it's UU now. Zapdos isn't as great versus Gambit as Moltres, and isn't as great versus Tinkaton as Moltres, but it's a little less rock weak. So that's the thing. We'll see if it's just an inferior Moltres in this case. Well, it is good versus opposing Moltres. It's a tricky one. I think well-timed, well-played Polt is a massacre. If you expect mindless Samurai, then I'd assume a like Raging Bolt slash you know, it could anticipate Iron Crown as well. Raging Bolt slash what's it called? It's 24. Okay, probably something decent. I didn't actually scan his team. What's my item on this? Heavy duty boots. You only want to hold positions that cannot. You can ensure the success of your attack if you only hold positions that cannot be. If you only attack positions that cannot be defended. That was one of the most pivotal shifts for me when I read The Art of War. I was like, it allowed all of these team preview things and all these things that are commonplace now. This was a foolish play, but that gives me a lot of insight as to how he thinks. So we're gonna take advantage of that because I know the Moltres is coming in here. I could Dracomitia, but he smacks Spadef. That's a good shadow. That's a good. But now he's gonna have to Will-O-Wisp block or U-turn, and that's some pivotal amounts of damage right there. Because that means, you know what that means? That means that Iron Crown comes in, and Tycon cutters, and he has to go. Probably Gliscor as a mid ground. His Gliscor, I'd assume, has something along the lines of knockoff. Perhaps toxic. He doesn't have hazard control as far as I could tell. I don't think Moltres gets U-turn. So it's Stealth Rocks on this shot. Okay, and it's Spidef Moltres, which is it's not great for Tycon Cuttermon because he has so many freaking dark types. But let's see. So I have my sash intact. Look at me using mindless ceaseless edge. Tinkaton is definitely something I want in Bloom's pop choice specs, but it's a question of whether I'd rather have it. No, I'd actually rather have the Tusk matchup versus Tinkaton, because these goobers love using motherfucking is it worth risk getting burned? Worth risk getting burned for this 30%. It's not worth it actually. So I'm gonna reposition Samurai here. He double. Why would you even? Okay, this guy is low ladder. What am I doing? Well, he's not low ladder, but like the risk versus reward there was awful. That gives me a lot of data, because now I know he's just clicking buttons to click buttons. It's not like okay, well, let me weigh the risk versus reward, because that was like super high risk and super low reward. Even if I double back to Samurai, this doesn't actually solve anything. So yeah, kudos to him, I suppose. And this is heavy duty boots. Yeah, I'm actually really annoyed that I allowed that to happen just now, but we'll make do. Volt switches, okay, which is also like again super high risk, because if I volt switch and he goes to, and I go, man, I'm annoyed by that, but that's on me though. It was low risk for me. I didn't think double Thunder Wave was an option, because of all the plays, that was like the worst of them all. Man, but I got enough data, so I have to, and this is heavy duty boost as well, so it's a little annoying, but we'll make do. So I got a lot of information with my Garganical with an iron defense. If he keeps playing his Raging Bolt the way he does, and end up clapping. So dose takes 41. I didn't expect it to take that much. Oh shit. Okay. Did not expect to die from that. So what is this? Heavy duty boost, ice beam? I didn't expect ice beam, but I'm thinking, what could this be? Heavy duty boost, ice beam. I could have played this a bit more cleaner. That's what I get for not putting a game plan in place. I was so focused on talking about the book that I actually didn't put a game plan in place. But this was also a reminder. This is why the game plan structure stops you from reacting to the opponent in a turn by turn sense, because that's what ends up happening here. You're going to, dude, you just, okay. I'm just saying, like, you did all that work to get. I knew, like, why? Why, brother? Why sack Tinkaton? That was inoptimal, brethren. So positionally, Garganic was best here. I could Iron Defense, but if he goes Gliscor, which I assume will be the case, he has Stealth Rocks and he has Knockoff. Because here's the thing about it, the way his team is set up, right? My Samurott is midish. I don't know what his other move is gonna be, but the problem with this play for him is that I get to Iron Defense hard, and because he allowed me to Salt Cure him, I can body press spam here, and there's nothing he can do about it. Somebody's gonna faint, and he has to hope that he gets me on a turn. Oh, he actually went Raging Bolt this turn. That was also silly, because the Gliscor dies to hazards. You see what I'm talking about? I'm like, okay, am I tripping, or is this opponent just doing random things? And I think it's the latter. But my leftovers is intact, so it's fairly low risk. If he goes Raging Bolt, I can just recover it off. Since he's not calm. Well, he could be calm iron. 43%. I really don't want any BS. This Raging Bolt's oh, that's annoying. He got a roll there. Okay, so I should have recovered the full. I didn't know if he would have calm mind, so that's my rationale on that. Garg is too important to now I have to be mindful of his gambit as well. So Gotta be mindful of his gambit. Ah, shit. I made a mistake there. I didn't know Thunderbolt was would do that much of a game. So I should have recovered back to full. I was fearing Carmine. And because I allowed my Samurai to get what's it called? Fucking paralyzed. I can't even encore the gambit, which was a key factor. So, you know, mistakes on my end, but we'll make do. Tusk is... I'm really tempted to fucking Dragon Darts here. I mean... Iron Crown. I'm gonna make the risk here. If he thunderbolts, as he does. Because as I'm saying, one, he's almost guaranteed to leave this Raging Bolt here. Raging Bolt in on my Tusk, but that's not even necessarily the point. I just need to force it out. So I'm thinking if it's better to spinner, I can always just rapid spin on the Molly next turn. It's better to spinner. I know he's gonna sack it. It's not wise, but I knew he was gonna do it. So the issue is now you open up. Well, he's gonna Dark Pulse the first. Right? He has Ice Beam. He shouldn't Dark Pulse. The Samurott has Encore, which is key for Gambit if I want a Gambit lock, so I can beat it potentially later on. I think the Samurott's worth the keep. It is a worth keeping the Tusk. He hasn't terrestrialized yet. It's probably Balloon. So, because I'm thinking I Draco KO this. Made a pretty big mistake allowing Garg to get lowered. My Garg being Terra Fairy doesn't matter in this game. This is one of those cases where my Terra doesn't matter. So, actually going to Terra Steel and Rapid Spin here in case the Ice Beams. Okay, that was huge. That was a huge turn because I wouldn't be shocked to see him leave this in. That was a huge turn because I get to keep the Tusk. We pull as a mid ground in case he has U-turn. He does have U-turn. He burns me. That's fucking pain in the ass. The pain in the ass turn right there. If KC, especially if he U-turns. He doesn't U-turn, which is a big deal for us. As I get to recover here. It's just that Gambit's a bitch. It's Air Balloon and he goes straight to it, which is interesting because he can't one-shot my Garg. So if he's not careful, what would he need the Terra, like Terra Fairy or something? Because Polt is key for his Darkrai, unless I'd take probably like 80%. Oh, it's Terra Fairy SD. Me getting the Saw Cure there was important though. What would he go for? If it's Terra Fairy SD. Yep, Iron Head. I think that's what it comes down to. Probably shouldn't have gone hard, but he definitely has the fairy move. Encore here on the off chance the suckers expecting Aqua Jet. So yeah, that's why I want, please, for the love of God, yes, yes, huge turn right there, because what this does is it allows me to go this and Iron Defense are free, which seals the deal. Could go Darkrai, but I don't see how Darkrai would solve anything. And the Gambit can technically still somewhat pull this off. That's why I need to be Iron Defense all the way up. The problem is he can't go hard Rai. I've shown Iron Defense though, because the Gambit Sucker Punch can 1v1. My Tusk is at 31%. Scorching Sands. Okay, I'm really glad to see that because I need to be. Scorching Sand does 32. Recover one more time just to avoid any kind of BS. Scorching Sands. That I set. Then I recover here. Nice saw cure. I gotta time this right. I saw cure. I'm outside of Gambit range. The Darkrai might have Focus Blast. If it does, then I'm screwed. But if it doesn't have Focus Blast, it's gonna go for Dark Pulse. Oh my god, dude. If I recover, dude. Now it's gonna come down to a bit of luck. That's incredibly frustrating, but that's incredibly frustrating. But it is what it is. That's incredibly frustrating, bros. So I'll have to bluff. I'll have to bluff having Sucker Punch. I don't have it. So that's really what the fuck's going on here. Man, my guard pulled through there, bro. But I played this in a way where it should never have even been this close. So that's on me either way. But I'm getting the hang of this because I lost Zapdos for free. So I gave him a ton of value from the Raging Bolt, from just silly misplays, not knowing rolls, not making calcs, things of that nature. I kind of knew, and I figured he would, if there was any turn he'd kowtow, it'd be the first turn. But he got it. That's a tough loss to take, but that's 100% on me. I didn't play the game properly, so that was a good warm-up game. Sorry, I was looking at my phone. That's one of them tough losses to take, primarily because it came down to a flinch, but the flinch was insignificant because of my poor decision making up to that point. The opponent did not play well at all. I mean, there are so many turns where I mean, we saw like the game actually got easier because of the misplay. So because he was just a clicker, the front end of the game was in his favor. We used to talk about this all the time, and then his plays caught up to him. You remember I used to say that all the time. Your plays will eventually catch up to you. What it means is that if you're just, okay, I'm gonna try to predict, eventually, because there's no direction to it all, and that's my own fault, honestly, for not even having a game plan in play. I didn't scan the team. I was so focused on, and so I went in there. It wasn't quite reacting. There was a plot to it, but I didn't consider the risk versus reward of, for example, the Moltres on Tinkaton. You know what I'm saying? So things like that. Dose is horrible and very good at the same time. It's horrible in the sense that it doesn't really pick up any KOs, but it's amazing because he doesn't have anything to stop electric movement. So T-Wave has some utilage. What the fuck am I trying to say? Usage. What's really cool is to see Iron Crown at work here. I'm gonna see how good this damn thing is. And this guy's at 1500, so he's exceptionally dangerous. Garganical upon Iron Defensing can 6-0 my opponent. I just need to not get lucked, or I need for him to give me his Slowking early, and then I can Terra Fairy and it won't matter. He can't guard very well against Rocks plus Shadow Ball, so that's going well. Because the Weavile, you know, in case it's, you know, boots and whatnot. Weavile offensively is a pretty big issue. What can I guard against? Definitely his fucking Dragapult. Definitely is Dragapult. It's Ogerpon to a lesser extent. I'm very say very bulky Dragapult. It's not what I'm trying to say. It's probably a Boots Corviknight. Not Boots Corviknight. Rocky Helmet Corviknight. But I'm looking at a Dragapult. So that says a lot. Bro went Cinderace on a Dragapult. Okay. So that said, did that say about as much as we needed to find out? Yeah. So what we're gonna do as a decent-ish mid-ground here is I'm gonna T-Wave because there's no drawback. If he does mindlessly Pyro Ball into my Zapdos, it covers everything. If the slow, you know, I'm not the biggest T-Wave fan, but I know the Slowking matchup is eventually gonna be a thing. And so right here we have a Focus Dash Samurai, which covers for every potential outcome. If he opts for Ogerpon Wellspring, I could raise. I do not have Sucker Punch on this. As I said, I have the dose, so not too concerned about that. Play Rough comes out, he risks getting staticked as we Roost here. The reason for the Roost is because Slowking Galar is likely, and we need to keep this at the utmost of strength and health. And the Samurai matchup is gonna repeat because we really just want to get his Slowking chopped down. And Samurai's just too ideal a matchup. He goes for Toxic, so he breaks through and reveals another move, which means he probably doesn't have healing, which is a big deal. So let's see how we intend to prevail though, because it's probably Boots for the most part, so I'm not even concerned about that. The Toxic does matter, particularly versus Samurai. I think I'm trying to think what Cinderace would need to come in on. So we're gonna get the Spike Up. We're gonna get the Spike Up. It's gonna reveal to me a lot about what his team structure is looking like. Is this default Corviknight? Yeah, that's why the Toxic matters, because I have Encore on the Samurai. So on the Roost, I'd be able to Encore. And he doesn't have anything to switch in on the Ceaseless Edge after that. If I knock, oh, he's leftovers. Okay then, very well. We'll knock this turn. We'll get a Spike Up. Oh, he actually U-turns. Okay. That's kind of good. The reason that's important is because the Tycon Cutter Mon is pretty deadly. And if he's just mindless about his shit, he's gonna get cooked. Right here, I'd assume a direct U-turn, but there is the possibility of it not being the case, as Dragapult mid-ground is always best. So it's Libero. It's positionally whatever he can go into, the Weavile, Slowking Galar. I don't get the Slowking Galar primarily because, well, you know, you're about to get Iron Crown first and foremost. Secondly, you're risking a Parahax. You're weak to Dragapult. He's revealed that he's toxic, so I don't have to be concerned about Thunder. Well, I guess I could have to be concerned about Thunder Wave. But you risk, if he gets full parried here, he's a Mon down, especially if the Weavile and he, you know, I guess I could technically be, no, what did I U-turn on? I was gonna say I could be Banded Drag, but unlikely. I could also be Hex Drag. Hex Drag makes sense on a squad like this with T-Wave dose and potentially Wisp. And so he takes 62%. He gets the Chilly Reception off, but that 62% is gonna make a huge difference when the Cobalion Mon comes back in, because yeah, the VS plus the Tycon Cutter is just super deadly right now. Cinderace is a little bit of a pain in the ass, but nothing I can't handle. But the key here is to focus on what I need to do to prevail. Okay, so it's likely banned Weavile, which is useful data. Oh, Sabrush. If his banded Triple Axle would do way too much. He's confirmed my choice back, so you can have my Samurai. Have it! The Nox. means drag a Pult to it kills the entire team. Especially if I Terra Ghosted. Good lord, this. I'm gonna go Pult here. We're gonna lure out. Wish I actually had a better bet than this. I'm not fond of this particular sequence. Ego Cinderace anticipating me to the Zapdos gonna be the best mid ground because it covers for the I really don't want. He might core change, but I can rapid spin. This getting T-Wave does matter. Debating whether or not to let the Slowking come in. Yeah, I did let it come in, but it was I had to make that turn correctly. He's actually played decently thus far. There's just a few core turns where I think as he's weighing his versus rewards, like versus with the Corviknight U-turn, the Samurai's staying and it's too unless it's not defog, and it's like, you know, if that's the case and it's just okay, well I'll bank on or change Cinder, then that's fine. I might force a Terra here, which is actually good because this is paralyzed and now me and one's my Garganacl Iron defenses. So we get the Corviknight gone. That's big because the Great Tusk I guess open up tremendously here, because now Weavile would have to come out, take another round of spikes. Yeah. Question is, who do I go to? It's never Garg. Garg's too valuable. If he triple axle, I'll be too low. I could sack my Iron Crown right now. What is Iron Crown doing? Ice Shocks are useful, but it's not KOing anything. And if he knocks, I get to go Great Tusk. Does knock off. I get to go Tusk here, but soon I'll be able to spin with Tusk, and so I just Ice Spinner directly, unless this is not because Wellspring's coming in. The next time all I need to do is just Rapid Spin. In fact, I could technically just Rapid Spin now, but as I said, the dose is too important. He has Play Rough, Cudgels directly, doses Terra Grass. In long game, it's better for me to Volt Switch here, even though keeping this decently healthy is important, because I'm the game plan at this point, or what I need to set up for at this point. It's not really about the Cinderace anymore, like keeping the hazards off the field. So what I'm gonna do instead here is go Tusk. We're gonna Headlong Rush directly. One, I'm fairly confident he probably Toxic here, tries to cover for the it goes Hard Pull. Hard Pull makes sense too. He's gonna say try to cover for the guard mid ground here. You won't Terra the Slowking, but if he loses the Ogerpon, if he gives me the Ogerpon, then or my guard just boosts too much. The thing with the Ogerpon is I don't want to risk him. I don't want to risk him. Slowking's coming in here. He's gonna have to take the Salt Cure damage. I don't want to risk him. Did Pult take damage from spikes? 82. I don't want to risk him. Fucking haxing me. That's all. It gets fully parried there. I've revealed the Iron of the defense. It'd be unwise to Iron defense again, because the Ogerpon, I doubt it has Encore. It's improbable. Improbable. So he gets fully parried again. Let's see how much body press is doing. 20%, that's no damage. So he gets beat down. So now the Ogre Pawn's coming in and he has to go for the luck. He didn't get it. Blessed. Okay, that was the key moment. If he got the luck, then he had a shot. If he didn't get the luck, alright. What's this gonna do? Okay. Alright, Garganical Iron Defense boost, and that's it. That is that. What a game. What a thrilling encounter. This scene looks like it might be fun though. I will say that. How did we lose Zapdos in that first game? It was Darkrai. I'm thinking like if Zapdos has been superior to Moltres. It doesn't give me a slightly different Ogre Pawn Wellspring matchup, so I can see a case for it. What's good? What's up, my guy? So hopefully it means on the ladder, not emotionally, because I laughed. Okay, have fun, bro. The ladder's cheap. Let's see. Love Garg as usual. Cinderace. The Cinderace pop picking back up in usage. I'm not used to these Pokemon, some of them, so it takes me a sec to think through what I want to do. Dose is some decent mid-ground. The Tycon Cutter Mon is legit. Great Tusk is really good. Samurai's solid. Yeah, a lot of solid things. I'm very surprised by a Galarian Slowking lead, considering the Samurai potential. That probably means his Landorus is heavy duty boots. I mean is what's that called? My fuck is that shit called? Don't trust that Thunder Wave. When he says the ladder is cheap, I'm thinking bro's finna pull out some cheap stops. So here comes Cure most likely. Use Earth Power on my Tycon Cutter Mon. So give me some time to adapt to, and that's something honestly, well no, I needed to get to the point where I knew what most things would do first. I was gonna say, that's something I should have been doing, is getting accustomed to the Pokemon. Earth Power is a decent-ish mid-ground here, especially because it's fairly low risk. You know, Iron Crown coming in is a big problem, whereas if I what's it called, if he freeze dries and, you know what I'm saying, okay, I don't think he was concerned about that then. I wasn't sure if he was gonna be specs, which is a big issue. I could see a mid-ground Cinderace play here. Just depends. I need to slow down and think, how am I intending to win here? Because that freeze dry was interesting. So it's just not crits me great. It's just not I'm grateful this lived. I didn't know this shit was that bulky. Holy shit. This Spadef is great. Obviously this would die to Tycon Cutter. He doesn't know my set. Cinderace makes the most sense. If he landos, he landos. It's a crazy play if he landoed, but he did. Willing to take on that risk. And so now I'm in a phenomenal position of power. Slowking Galar is not the wave. Gambit, I'm gonna force the Gambit to take the Shadow Ball plus spike damage unless he Terra Waters this. Yeah, and I get to find out if he's Balloon. Boy, is that leftovers Gambit, huh? The Slowking is significantly lower than it needs to be. So right now, I'm in a position where If Iron Crown comes in, it's a KO. Somebody die. You know what I'm saying? And the Kirim is lefties. Great Tusk coming in here would actually be pretty bad for him. But based on how he's playing, I don't think he's gonna switch. Okay, he's just willing to give up the Cinderace. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take the trade. Great Tusk is good, but you not having any hazard control for the remainder of the game is wild. Is this running like Grass Knot or something? The confidence through which he went through this instead of Kyurem implies like a max speed Grass Knot or something like that. Oh, okay. This is a very strange sequence. This must be Special Helmet Knot or something. Psychic, okay. I knew something was coming, I just didn't know what it would be. He's slower than me. He's Samurot's Razor Shell with KO. He's Helmet though. Gave up Tusk. That wasn't really a give up. That was more of a I don't know if you can attack, can do damage to me. My Garg is looking good. I just have to be mindful. His Valiant could be pesky if Zapdos. Zapdos is really critical to the remainder of this game. Iron Crown. Let's run a calc. Iron Crown. Actually, I want an Iron Crown badly here. I just don't know if this KOs. Iron Crown. Oh, you choice specs. Landorus. Do Landos run max HP? I mean, Spadef in this tier. Oh, you defensive, sure. 74 to 80 doesn't KO. Razor Shell. Kyurem's fairly likely, but he should fear. Oh, just left it in, and he was. What's his face? It was the Tycon Cuttermon obviously makes the most sense. Kyurem is my worst case scenario. Slowking. What can Slowking do? Psyshock would do a ton, but that would open me up to Gambit. If I VS into Garganical, VS into Zapdos, I actually have to Tycon Cutter this. Decent damage, see how much what it does. He T-Waves. T-Wave might have been a misplay there. Unless he has Terra Water. Para, I ain't even gonna talk about it. Do what you wanna do, bro. You know your boy with the Para is just you know, I'll be playing Ranbats. Okay, so he says I'm about my business here, which I respect a lot. Respect, you know, being about the business. So if we can get this off here, we do not get this off here. It's a really big problem. That was a really big Para. That's a really big Para, like huge Para. Because now I have to Thunder Wave this. Whereas before I didn't have to Thunder Wave. You know? Because I can't KO this other than Garg. And he hasn't Terra'd yet. So that's unfortunate. I might have just lost the game. Maybe. We shall see. But as I said, the Para 50%, I mean 25% is let's call it rubbish. You know what I'm saying? It ain't that's not how it ends up playing out. It should sack this. Right here. The Kowtow Cleave. I guess he could Iron Head. I gotta hope he kowtows or gets full parried. Yeah, kowtows. And I Terra Fairy body press. Unless he terras this. Okay, I'll get rid of the Gambit. That's huge. That's a huge turn. I might have a shot now. Depending on what the Valiant is. But I'll Assault Cure the Valiant. This is the Valiant's Calm Mind, but even Calm Mind can't KO Zapdos at +2. So what I'll end up doing, yeah, Assault Cure the Valiant. Well, actually, what will be the worst case scenario? He's Calm Mind and he's Calm Mind and Encore. Yeah. And so his only shot would be, because I can't go hard. My only shot would be him go guard or go. Because what I'm thinking about is the Kyurem. Well, guard beats Kyurem, kind of. So I have to go hard Pult here. So I'm thinking is I might go hard Pult and hard back to Dragapult. The Terra is the wild card that I'm not certain of. If it's like Terra Fairy or something, then you know, so be it. The thing is, I don't want him to Calm Mind up so much that I don't want him to Calm Mind up so much that Zapdos doesn't kill him. So for example, right here, the play would probably be to go back to what's the likelihood of Kyurem being a Terra type that's you could see him again. I'll Shadow Ball. Moonblast. You could have seen him again there. Do I Volt Switch or do I Hurricane here? I think T-Wave means he's, I don't know, booster energies for balanced health. So we hit the Hurricane. I think it's really just gonna come down to what this Kyurem's packing, how bulky Kyurem tends to be, all that fun shit. A Hurricane here. It's Terra Ground. Ook. I think that might matter, depending on what he's packing. 38%. Please, for the love of goodness. I misclicked there. Fuck, you got us with F drop. This is what I was trying to avoid. This is what I was trying to avoid. Luck. So but it is what it is. Man. This is exactly what I was trying to avoid. Because I wanted to sack guard versus the Valiant. So that when the Kyurem, I knew this matchup would occur, but it was the conversation of whether it's gonna be Garganical or whether it was gonna be, so I gotta get like a crit or some shit now. Great. Alright. Yeah. So it was just a conversation of whether it was gonna be Garganical versus Dragapult or I mean Garganical versus Kyurem or Dragapult versus Kyurem. And unfortunately, you know, so that's another situation where Zapdos was this midish, whereas Moltres would have cooked. Let's look at this match. I think I'll just switch it to Moltres. It's just not as good as Zapdos is. It's like side, but not really cutting it. And we lost two very winnable games. Not both of them, frankly. But you know, I knew when I made Garg go second, he'd try to either Ice Beam freeze me or something like that. Yeah, and I, you know, being Terra fair, like, but it is what it is. That was tough, especially because if the Gambit didn't get fully paralyzed, Tycon Cutter guy would have been a different situation. But we're gonna keep working through these teams until I find one that I feel like, okay, has the right balance of offensive pressure. Because the thing I'm running into is either the team's just very susceptible to is very bulky, but there's no offensive pressure, or there's a lot of offensive pressure, but one thing throws you off, like one little surprise and the game's lost. So it's an alternation between low 1800s and mid 1700s, learning the new patterns. So let's see. We'll see how good the Tycon Cuttermon is. Samurai versus Samurai. Actually did not even game plan there. I don't get the glide scores lead. I don't get the glide score lead at all, but considering like you don't have much to guard against this, like Tinkaton was focused that shit. I get Spike up and he doesn't have acid control. It's a very strange decision. Very strange indeed. But I'm not gonna risk the Moltres burn, especially because rocks are guaranteed. Because now he's very, very Shadow Ball susceptible. Very, very Shadow Ball susceptible. U-turn. Yeah, the positioning Zapdos brings is just too amazing, and I can risk he might get fully powered, right? It's a question of what this Gliscor has in store for us, right? Could be knockoff, could be toxic. What's our objective best play though? Because right now the way it's looking, he's gonna get Garg swept. So what I'll do is use Samurott to lure out that Tinkaton once again. Face SD. This must be Encore here. Should be faster on. Let's fuck. Faster than me. But he terrored, so that's good. How do I want to do this then? Iron Crown's damage probably sufficient. As I said, Garg is key. Unless it's like Terra, it's like Encore Ogerpon. So he's faster than my. What's my Samurott Adamant? The hell? Good catch right there. Was not the, it probably was the key for knocking out the Lando, to be fair. I could go guard Terra Fury and Iron Defense and 1v1 this as well. The issue is if he facades the first turn. I don't know why he'd facade, but I would lose that situation, or I could Iron Crown and force him out. I could Great Tusk spin into Headlong Rush. Would Tusk die? Terra Steel probably knocks this out, but oh wow, yeah, Terra Steel would have 100% knocked it out. Okay, very well. Is this thing? I was gonna protect Dracometer. Yeah. Please hit. Tinkaton's taking hazards, which is fine. I just need this weekend for my Garg. Wow, the Tycon Cutter thing was legit. So revealed this pulse, not specs. So he finally goes to Samurato. Means what? Doesn't matter, I'll just be patient. The Zapdos slow key sweeps the remainder of his team by itself. But just Roost here. Ceaseless edges again. I don't know why he keeps risking getting paralyzed. This bro has a fetish for paralysis. Okay, well the Ogrepon's a little bit of a bitch. But nothing I can't deal with. Tinkaton gets hit. He has a control here. Okay. Bolt is in. The Bolt is now. U-turn pull. Bolt's a bitch. Can't knock me out though. What I want, what I'm afraid of is him U-turn. The best play I think for him would be to U-turn out into Moltres. I want his Samrock gone too, and I want all Encorers gone. And it's getting to the point where I'll soon be able to just Shadow Ball or Dose Zapdos. If I deal with take a Will-O-Wisp Spear, Great Tusk is legit though. Draco's doesn't KO, so I can spin. And spin! I can spin! As Ogerpon comes in and goes for knockoff. Not ideal, but because I can rapid spin quite a few members. Probably should slow down and play this more cleanly. Yeah. Does he get parried? He doesn't get parried. The issue for him now is how is he gonna force this out? If I VS on his a Hurricane here for free, I miss. Let's say he's faster than me and he Encores here. Yeah, then he dies to the Hurricane. Right. This score is definitely faster than my dose. But I don't think it's faster than my Tusk. A hard Pult, even if you were to EQ, it'd be okay. But you never EQ in a position like that. Very tempted to fucking reposition the Garg here. I would solve most things. But this is a KO, so I'll take the KO. Amon down is better. Dragapult! Attack! Oh, 61%. Whew. It's not no bueno. Question is, do you roost? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think you want Let Tusk coming in for free. But where would Let Tusk come in other than this? Yeah, that's a big para, depending on what he went for. It's a huge para. Because now you lost hazards, and if you go Ogerpon, I have no reason. I have no longer a reason to hold back this terrestrialization. Actually I do. Because Fudgles, yeah. One dose heals. He must have Encore on this too. That play didn't make sense unless you have Encore on this as well. So what I do here? I'll mid-ground Tusk, then pivot back. Okay, didn't Encore. I'm not sure then. Not too certain anymore then. So you Draco here for KO. That was a justified miss. It's a little annoying. A a little annoying, but 2 misses in a row is crazy. Little crazy. It's fucking a really big issue. 2 misses is a really big issue. Thunderweight, I mean Swords Dance, what Sucker Punch? Ceaseless Edges. I'm guessing this has Sucker. I get it, the Ogerpon doesn't have Encore, which is useful. But have to play this right. I'm pretty sure he has Sucker Punch because he has Swords Dance. I want to Roost, then Hurricane. Swords Dance is something I did not count for. Divide VS, and he Sucker Punches. Probably should have accounted for that. I guess if the Ogerpon has Encore this whole time and he just predicted me, then kudos to him. What would I want to do here? He suckered but didn't get it off. We both got some crucial RNG in this game that made this a lot different, because had it's the Cudgel, but even that crit Cudgel won't do shit. Had Moltres makes sense, but a full health Zapdos. He's gonna try to Gliscor. Like, oh, you still Ogerpons. Oh, he's gonna let's see. He's going to bank on the Gliscor miss. The Gliscor getting a free Swords Dance and me missing a bunch of Hurricanes. So I'm gonna do this first turn is recover, just on the off chance any nonsense. We're gonna Salt Cure next. Gonna recover this next turn, and then I'm going to go Zapdos. He did have Encore. And then we have the Guard versus Score matchup, and we Body Press. Nothing to be done. Again, could have been played a little cleaner, to be fair. I played it a bit too. One of the core turns, let me actually run the calc on that. One of the core turns is Iron Crown. So me not knowing any data about Iron Crown is really fucking up these game plans, because let me see what speed tier. They said it doesn't run any speed, but it outsped my Samurott, so it's running a lot less special defense. But Tycon Cutter does 58 to 69. The one he had probably didn't have any SPDF, excuse me. And I've not even been careful nature, might have just been straight jolly. Berkey. Yeah. It was just a no HP speed set. So let me slow down and actually think these games through. Zapdos was good versus 1, 2, 3, kind of 4. Offensively is good versus, it's not really good offensively, but it's good volt switching. He has 2 ground types and neither of them like Zapdos. That's good. Neither of them would have liked Moltres either, but you get the idea. At least Zapdos doesn't die to Stone Edge in 1 hit. Icon Claremont, he has 2 ground types. And then he has a Gambit. Another situation with Terra Garg, I just need to force that Slow King to terrestrialize. So I can not one-shot it with body press once that Terra. Out of ball is good. Let's see. Let's say that what can I guard against? People seem to just Slow King Galar. Raging Bolt's probably a better mid ground. Ogrepon's a slight nuisance, so I don't want to deal with that potentiality. He's Landorus leads, which I'm gonna just Shadow Ball actually. If he's offensive like Smooth Stone or like Soft Sand or some shit like that, you get one shot by Draco here, or you get Will-O-Wisp, which is not ideal for him. I'd assume so. Now, but I see people. This is 1600. This is 1600 shit. So this motherfucker led Lando when I have a Samurai. And gets rewarded with a critical hit. So I would have KO'd him if I Draco'd and he wouldn't KO me back. So he'd be a Mon down. Okay. Alright. Okay. He got his crit, bro. Alright. Alright, bro. You got your crit, man. You got your crit, man. You got your crit. You got your crit, man. Insanely frustrating when people play like. If I Sucker Punch there, okay. This dude, okay, got you. Got it. Alright, let me calm down. Cause I'm the crit really it's the getting the reward for it. Like nothing irks me like making a bad play and I gotta play back from it. It was a mid play and it's, you know, it's like, but such a poor decision, and I'm the one I'm on down. Like, what the fuck? And then goes Slow King, because I wouldn't cover for Aquajet if Aquajet is what he was covering for. So Slow King doesn't make sense either. Okay. Well, let's just focus on how we intend to win this motherfucking game. You feel me? Alright, so he fucking Sludge Bomb. We'll Side Shock here because I know he's staying. And he might have T-Wave. But I want this a little lower than it is. I want this a little lower than it is. T-Wave is a problem, but not the end of the world. Oh, he took that well. Flamethrower. He must be AV or some shit. Okay. He's not going Gambit here either. Boom. Bro's finna Sludge Bomb or go to Landers. Watch. Or a Raging Bolt. That's even better. Or Raging Bolt. So he's AV or something like that, because that Side Shock did nothing. I'm just thinking about the risk versus reward if I pivot to, yeah. It actually does go Gambit. He did a decent play for once. Okay. Okay. Now doubles to Slow King. What did you think I was gonna go into on a King Gambit? Bruh. This shit has Terra Grass. This is Terra Grass. Fucking, this shit is Terra Grass Knot or some shit like that. Cause he keeps going Slow King expecting my Tusk. So let's say it's Terra Grass. What would that mean? That would mean that is okay. I'm just gonna go on my Iron Crown. Okay. This is great. It's a great position. This is splendid. This is wonderful. Should just kowtow this time or sucker. It's too gambly. Yeah, it's too risky to not. And now I can rocks. No, I spinner directly here. fuck. I know Tusk is coming in. His helmet does 35. It's not ideal. Not ideal at all. At all. This Tusk is dead, at the very least. What does that mean for me? You actually made the worst play of all. Okay, I'll deal with it. No, he doesn't even. Okay. Guess he wanted to spin kill me. He has to go to Lando now. My Tusk is low, which isn't good for my Gambit. I didn't know it was a speed tie because I saw the helmet. So I didn't know I was gonna have to lose the speed tie for that to even matter. But yeah, I gotta keep my Tusk. The Stone Edge is a Legerate Tusk. To roost this off. Iron Crown coming in here is a mon down for him. She shouldn't want. I'd assume Raging Bolt. Raging Bolt's a good mid ground no matter what anyway. Ogre Pawn? Okay. I get to Terra Fairy this. Gonna be good if he doesn't get the luck. So Ogre Pawn is cooked. I don't know if I like knock on Samurai. I hate not having a fucking priority move. So here we're staring down Slow King. He actually just sacks the Ogre Pawn. Okay. Is he just trying to cudgel prevail? Iron Defense here to cover for a Gambit play. And I get to get the crown in. Crown the jewel. And Tycon Cutter here. Okay, he's going for the flame. Fortunately, no. So I'm on down. Raging Bolt slash Gambit. He could sack the Ogre Pawn, which is why I don't like that. Yeah, he might sack the Ogre Pawn. The Raging Bolt is a problem. Right here, he's free to U-turn. The Raging Bolt is a problem. Would I have Encore if you guys parry it? Of course not. It's Protosynthesis. Protosynthesis. As we VS here, the question is, do you calm mind, my guy? Are you that kind of guy that calm minds? Iron Crown. Iron Crown makes the most sense here. If he calm minds, he Dragon Pulses directly. Which means, willing to take a headlong rush. Because Dose is solid. Gotta be careful in this endgame. Primarily because his Slow King is still alive. Let's say this Terra Fairies here. I have to deal. This guy does not terrestrialize. Sacks the Raging. Why? Why, bro? Bruh. 1600 wounds or most. Killing you. Because he can't, if he Stone Edges here, why U-turn, bro? And bro is not getting punished. This shit is unacceptable. This shit is unacceptable. As a Sludge Bomb. So now, do I care? Sludge Bomb matters, but already low. How much it does? 35. Get poison. Close. Alright, Lando isn't really the issue. So I'm thinking, how do I ensure success? He gets it off. The Samurai is Encore. If I go Tusk here and I Ice Spinner, that puts too much power in the opponent's hands. What I'm gonna do is go Samurai. I'm going to go directly for the knockoff here. Gambit comes in. Thinking if I go to I don't think you ever sucker punch here. I don't think you ever sucker punch. Oh, he fucking sucker punched. Alright then. Suckered. That's game for me. It's really not, but never used Stealth Rock. The reason I said that is because the only way he could lose is if he lost the Gambit. He suckered again. He got it right. Slow ladder, but yeah, meaning like I know he wasn't thinking about it in that way, but it still worked. Okay, not over because Slowking can get paralyzed. I need some key powers here. I lost my item. Are you fucking serious? Bro, you know you'd have gotten parried 25 times out of 10 already. Oh, fucking kidding me, dude. Yo, you cannot be. But hey, I could have played that a little differently. What I let the crit on Dragapult turn 1. Again, nothing irks me like when a player just clicks some shit and gets rewarded. And I'm stuck with the bill for his bad play. That same Lando that got all them switch-ins in. Shadow Ball wouldn't have KO'd, but I'm saying objectively it's a poor decision. It's a poor decision to Earthquake into a Dragapult you don't know anything about that you cannot one-hit KO. Right, so if I'm Wisp, bad play. If I'm not Wisp and your Draco, bad. Like there are just so many sequences where it's high risk, low reward, especially because you don't need the Dragapult to be at on low health for any particular reason. So yeah, but it's you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. I really should just either pause this or stop. I'm gonna grab. I actually like this team. It's not a team I dislike. It's a really fun team, and I'm letting my frustration bleed into the battle, which you shouldn't do. So let's see. Of course. And I'm not enjoying the game at this point because of that. I just have to play in a way where luck is just not much of a factor. In this case, I'm gonna Stealth Rocks up and Shadow Ball this entire team. That's my fucking luck. It's not a factor strategy. Kyurem is a pretty big issue, but it'd be foolish to Kyurem considering my triple axle would potentially get him paralyzed. This is useful, but it's not so dire that I wouldn't. Shoutouts to BFI. Or the Hurricane this. I prefer the matchup though. Well, let me think about it. If he's gonna stay in, wouldn't U-turn? It'd go hard to the Slowking Galar matchup, which is ideal considering his poor hazard control. And frankly, just poor C-such edge switches. Arscarada is one option. The issue is the paralysis you're risking every time. You just U-turn anyway. It's not like you'll get paralyzed. Doesn't really matter, right? So this Iron Crown has good speed F, I've learned, so I'm gonna play it like that even if he Earth Power. So he confirms choice specs. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. That Slowking Galar comes in again. Nothing crazy. Actually need to take this. This is the second time that I lack of Sucker Punch. Question, was my play versus the Slowking to Razor Shell? If I Razor Shell there, he lost. Beauty boots. See what you flip turn into. Meow. What you could flip turn into Kirim. No issues if he wishes. Flip turn into Kirim would be sure. I'd like to keep my sash. Positioning is better here than damage. Miarskrada has to take the damage. If he goes Miarskrada, he's obviously Choice Scarf. Question is, does he knock or not? Triple axles. Gets fully powered. Oh. This Kirim gets to come in, which is a little annoying, but dose is too important. Style Roost. This might still be faster than me, but now he's opened himself up to Shadow Ball significantly. Yeah. Crown wasn't getting anywhere, but now the Golden go into fucking Slowking, so I'll give him his little KO here as he freeze dries. Yeah. And now, what do I want to do? What do I want to do here? I feel like it's gonna be some weird bit. So we're gonna pull and U-turn directly. Even if you were to stay in, I don't get to it killed with guard. This is fairly low risk. Kirim is a massive offensive problem for me. So I asked for Molo, which is interesting. Positioning is really important here because I'm so Kirim weak. It's just a matter of what his Mola is packing. It lets me hit it, and this gives me better positioning with Polt than before. He wishes, it's fine, as you have to protect the matchup I wanted. Encore you, right? And now sacks Miarskrada. That's fine. We'll Ceaseless Edge for the extra layer of spikes. Tusk would be pretty foolish. This extra spike doesn't make sense. If he goes Tusk like a Boonster, this allows it to pay off. As he does go to Tusk, the Boonster. Obviously Wish here doesn't make a lot of sense for him. So positioning Bolt is success. Yes, Scald. I didn't know this should even learn Scald anymore. If Volswitch did 50, he probably dies to Draco. Draco objectively is just the best play. Protects. Yeah. Oh boy, bro. Fuck, dude. And he fucking flip turns. That Draco was so fucking huge. That particular one, since he flip turn, like game changing. But it is what it is. Alright, we gotta move the fuck on. Oh, that's a big miss, man. That might have lost me the game, honestly. Not sure. I'm not sure, because he just goes for chilly reception. Well, actually, if he chilly reception, since I'm sashed, I'm gonna lure the Kirim in. But he's gonna have the defense boost, which is the problem. The Samurai, It is what it is. I make do. Probably best to get rid of his choice spec so the Garg doesn't hurt my Garg as much. Blizzard. And I can now shot a ball a little more freely. Blizzard, huh? Garg can maybe do something. Oh, that's a big Draco miss, man. Too fucking big. He gives a Miarsker out of here. We'll have to see. We shall see. %. Mmm, 1%. Ah! Oh my fucking goodness, bros. Oh my god. No, like, it's your boys. It's not your boys' day to day. It's all good though. We'll make do. We shall prevail. We shall survive. We shall thrive. Some way, somehow. So again, this is where the positioning is so key, because Zapdos offensively is actually a massive problem. He may Volt Switch, but it is what it is if he does. I mean, Sludge Bomb. It has Toxic, okay. If that's the case, I won't show him what my Garg set is yet. Let him go Golden Go. Goes Alomomola, what? Oh, he's just gonna flip turn back into Slowking Galar. Okay. I don't think it's worth it. Oh, you're just trying to get damage back. So Future Sight. Sunmina Pulp KO. I think he thought about that. Man, that Mola should have been gone, man. The roll on the Shadow Ball and from the fucking it is what it is, man. I just need to keep this fucking Pult alive. He gives me Goldengo. Okay, Garganical is in the building. Garganical is in the building. It probably goes Tusk. The spikes don't actually matter, so Tusk would kind of be a waste, but goes Mola. I think that's probably the worst of them all to use here. Garganical is in the building. Garganical has potentially. Those probably dies here. Yeah, Future Sight plus. But he lets Kyurem come in, which means it's a KO. Pretty sure Dragapult's killing this in one go. But there's no way a Spec Shadow Ball's not doing 56% with Terra Ghost. And I guess if this guy's Terra fucking Dark or normal, like, I give up. Mola is an odd play, considering it doesn't actually get you anywhere. You can't unless you have Mirror Coat or something, right? So you wish, and then what? You wish protects all until you get a Spadef drop. This was an odd decision here. I wouldn't have gone Mola. I guess he could just flip turn out into Slowking. Because if Mola gets too low, Tusk just washes. Yeah, there's a Spadef drop. Flip turns now. Slowking Galar. So this is where he has to terrestrialize into water. That's fine, because Garg, there's no drawback to Garg. Oh, okay, it didn't Terra. Just need to be at full. The Future Sights. Surprised he Future Sighted there. If I went Tusk, you'd have lost him on. My play here is always to just Iron Defense. It doesn't matter what. If he molas, then I can salt cure. Scald matters, but it does so little that it doesn't. And okay, he's willing to give me his Curum. What's Blizzard? And you get Tusk. No way, this is Terrago. If it's fucking Terrago, so be it. Why do I have to be fighting so motherfucking hard for some basic ass points? So that's outside of psychic Terra psychic range, feature side range. Barely. So we gotta keep Organical, because Garg is our key to success. Is it? Let's say he Scalds here. I'd go Polton, Shadow Ball. He hasn't terrestrialized yet, which is my issue. Yeah, I should have knocked this shit's item off. Like Garg, it's just that I don't want this to come down to luck. Like if he Scalds here, it's gonna come down to whether or not he gets the Scald burn. Is it? Scald? How much does Scald do? Scalded my Dragapult. The Scald do 24%. I highly doubt that. But it's a base 80 move. Pult's no slouch though. I think it comes down to if Scald does 24%. How much does Draco Meteor do? Run this calc real quick. Alomomola, Oyuish, Dragapult. On some HP right now. Scald does 9 to 11. I don't die. So it's gonna come down to some luck. Dragapult Dracos, then flip turned. Which I think ensures the game for me. Unless this is, please, for the love of fucking yes, thank you. This Terra Water, see, but it is a 2 KO. That does a fuck ton. God damn. Ooh, that's a big ass crit. That's a big ass crit right there. That's a big fucking crit. There was some shit that happened earlier. Oh, the fucking Draco miss. The Draco, I'm not even gonna waste the fucking time. But that Draco miss was game changing. But I know you won't remember that. Cause I'm like, something massive happened earlier that made him even in this game. So Fate said, Jam, we love you. We're gonna cut you some slack here. And I appreciate that. So I'm gonna pause here. We may record some more. I have to go grab my mom. Actually, I want to just enjoy some games. The losses we've taken today, all of them, has been to some shit that's like, bruh. You know what I'm saying? And so I'd have to replay, review them, and see like, okay, well, funny because I'm not. This team, other than Draco Meteor, doesn't even use a lot of moves that miss. I find that funny. Not even one of those teams that have a lot of missing moves. Yet, here we are. I don't know, Encore on the Samurott might be worth the removal or the priority. But yeah, gotta go.